environment. All right, well let's move on to the next part of our evening, and so this is my favourite part actually, when we have our guest speaker along. So our guest speaker tonight is Francesca Moi, and she runs a business called Empowering Events, and she's a leader of the mafia. So she is Italian, and the Mafia stands for Meetup and Facebook International Academy. So that's a group that I've been a part of for about 2.5 years now. I ran through a program with Francesca on how to move from obscurity or invisibility to invincibility, and the reason why this meetup exists is Francesca. So the program that was on, and she was really good. I have to say that Francesca is a woman of action, and one of her things that she teaches in her course, if you go to a course, and I highly recommend you do, you find that there is no time to think. There's only time to act. And this meetup happened because Francesca said, right, you need to set up a meetup. And so it just happened. So here we are 2.5 years later. So so for that, I'm eternally grateful. So welcome along, Francesca. So maybe if you give us a bit of a intro about yourself and your background.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me, Nick. And what a beautiful introduction. I love it. So give it up for Nick and his beautiful presentation. It was amazing. Always so many insights. And after Nick became my client, I actually became his client because he's amazing at it. So he's done all my membership side, all my website, everything that I've got at the web. He's my web developer, and we love it. So thank you for your work. We are extremely grateful. And I'm a painful client, and I was like, Nick, I need to work this out. And he's just created an amazing private podcast for all my Mafians, and he's always there to support us. So absolutely, if you need help with your web, you get to Nick. Absolutely is the best. But grazie. I love Mark. So yes, so how did I came about business? You guys, I honestly, sometimes I have to pinch myself and go, is this really happening? It's been a crazy journey. In 5 years ago, I was a life coach. I wanted to become a life coach. Well, I wasn't really a life coach. I made $120 in the first 6 months of my business. Successful. And so I was like, right, so now what do I do? I can't make any money. I don't want to go back to a job. What do I need to do to make this work? So I started to study what successful people do, and I noticed that they have an audience. They're speaking either online or offline in front of people. So I'm like, how do I do that? How do I get people in front of me? And because I had no audience, no following, nothing, nobody will come to my events. It was like, I've got an event and nobody will come. So I was like, okay, this is definitely not working. So I started to really study what other people do that I wasn't doing. And I started to realize that social media was my missing link. I wasn't accessible. I wasn't able to be out there. Actually, I've got a new story that I wanted to share with you guys. I did a Facebook Live on it today because I'm so passionate about it. I was looking for something specific, and a healer. I love doing healing sessions, and I love doing a lot of work on myself, on my mindset. And so I found this amazing new thing that I wanted to work on. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's find the best person in Brisbane or area. And I'm looking for it. And I found this person in the Sunshine Coast. And I said, all right, fantastic. Can you send me some information about you? And she's like, what do you mean information? Just have to pay to come to a one-on-one session. And I was like, okay, but before I pay you, like, I would love to know if you're the right person. I need to see your vibe. I need to see your thing. And it's not that I care about, not spending money, because I've got no money problem. But the thing is, you want to invest with someone that you know, that you trust, that you like. And she was completely like going, what are you talking about? Like, people usually just pay me. I was like, okay. And I'm stalking her on social media. I don't find any group, any video, any Facebook Live, any post, educational post. I can't see her vibe. There's no photos of her. So I'm going, I don't know if I can really like come along this Sunday and just pay you. Like, I just need to get to know you. Can we just jump on a call for like, 15 minutes? Oh, my phone broke and this and that. And I'm going, wow. There's so many businesses that run a business successfully because they have referral base. Like, she must be amazing at what she does. So other people send her people, but she's got the illusion that that's how you run a business. That's not how you really run a business. If you want to grow and scale, you need to build trust, and to build trust, you need to post out there on social media as much as possible. So I was asking for anything, for a webinar, for something where I could see her vibe. All I wanted to see is to have a little conversation with her, and there was nothing out there, and she was not willing to provide anything like that. So obviously I went to someone else. So the question is, how many people out there don't even tell you that, right? They're looking for you, and they're looking to see if they can, you know, work with you, and there's not much information. They're gonna go and search and choose your competitor that has got more out there on social media, that has got more proof of their success, that they've got more education out there, that they've got more knowledge out there, that they have opened up the doors and people can actually check out. It's like having social media. When people don't use social media, it's like having a shop and having the shop, and at the door when people are trying to get in, you're like, I don't want you to look around until you pay. And it's like, well, but I need to get into the shop to see if there's anything that I want to buy, right? And so we need to put ourselves out there on social media to build that relationship so that people want us. And so that was a massive learning experience for me. And as I did it, 3 months later, I was completely fully booked with one-on-one sessions. And then 6 months later after that, I was in a 6-figure business, one-to-many, and I was traveling around Australia in 3-4 cities at the time. And that's how my journey to $1 million business started. And now we're going for 3 million in the next financial year. So it's been a crazy, crazy, crazy journey. And it all started by simply growing a following, simply putting myself out there on social media. And so today we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to share my PowerPoint so that you guys can see. So let me just, there we go. Fabulous. Oh. The other day, I've got a new computer, and the other day I was live and I couldn't share my screen and I was devastated. But you guys can see it now. Can you give me a thumb up?
Perfect, looking
beautiful.
good.
All right, thank you. Okay, so this is what happened to me, right? And literally in the first year of my business, I grew 30,000 people follow me on social media, and I was able to get fully booked workshops all around Australia. And it wasn't just the results, it was just the fun that I was having along with it. I was like, this is amazing. This is a dream. This is incredible. So I started to post photos on my social media like this, right? Of people at my events, of people that obviously you can tell they look happy, they look engaged, and people are going, wait, what am I missing out? Why am I not going to this crazy woman workshops or events? So that created curiosity around it. Some people judged it, and some people thought it was too much, too loud, and that's fine. Those people were not the right people, but guess what? Those people are still following me, and now they're turning into clients. Now they're going, okay, you look like you were a crazy lady back then, but now it looks like you're still in business, so you must be doing something right. So my question to you guys, and I would love you to engage with me in the chat, is if you see a photo like this, if this person at the front was you, what would that do to your business? What would happen to your business if you consistently started to post photos of you with people in front of you, either online or offline? What would really happen to your business? And this is something that people don't ask themselves enough, right? It's like, okay, if I want to get my business out there, what are the things that I see other people doing that I should be starting doing? So I would love to see you guys in the comments tell me what would happen to your business if this was you, if you started to consistently have photos of you speaking on stage, of you speaking online, of you having an audience, of you posting out there. Let me know, because I would love to see what do you think will happen to you, because this is the most important part. If we don't understand why I need to do this stuff, you'd be like, sounds like wanky, if I may say that word. Sounds like, a waste of time. Why would I do that? Right? So I'm not seeing anybody commenting. Come on, please, people. Let's do it. Let's get interactive. I don't really enjoy presentation that is not interaction, because then you guys are falling asleep on me. Am I not seeing the chat going, or there's no chats? Okay. It creates a lot of curiosity. Yeah. There is a person behind the name. Kathy, that's a good one. Right? So that will create curiosity. People will start to check you out. People start to stalk you. It will create a culture. Yes, Corina, absolutely. It will create trust. Paul, that is massive. Creating trust It's what we're talking about here, right? If we don't start to show people that we are that person, that we are that person out there, that, you know, we got a solution, they're never going to find us. If we don't put ourselves out there, what I find that a lot of business owners do wrong is that they're looking for their clients. Instead, I put myself out there, and my clients find me, right? That's the other way around. So they will find me rather than me looking for them. And that is the difference from be able to scaling a business than doing business the slow way. I also strongly believe that your business is a 3D printout of your thoughts. I have studied mindset, and I strongly believe that you are going to have a successful business when you believe that it's possible. I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and I was super proud of achieving my first $25,000 month. And I thought that was it. Like, you can't make more than $25,000 months, right? You can't, it's impossible. That was my brain was telling me at the time. And then she started sharing that she had the biggest month ever, which was $180,000. And I went, wait, what? Is that legal? Can people make that much money in 1 month? And that's when my brain realized that I was playing small, that it was a next level. And by making that money, it's not just about the money, but it's about how many people you can have working for you, how many lives can you change, how many family can you feed, how many clients can you help when you have such a greater business. So that when my mind exploded, I'm like, what else is possible? So we're now on our way to a $3 million business, and my goal is to get to 5 million in the next 2 years, because I want to show people what else is possible. If a crazy Italian lady can do that in Australia by herself, definitely anybody else can. And that is my goal. And that's what I want to do. I want to show people what else is possible. So as I started to teach people what they had to do to get bundle seats, to get people at their events, because that was the first thing that people noticed, was all these videos and all these photos of me with a huge audience in my rooms. And people were like, how did you do that? So I was teaching that, but they were getting no results. And I was like, why? Am I a fraud? I'm teaching people something that doesn't work. And then I realized there was a missing link. People didn't understand this journey from invisible to invincible. So I created this to really explain to people what is the first step. And the first step is being invisible. It's okay, but we need to admit that that's where we're at, right? Awareness, it will give us a chance to go to the next level. So invisible is when you post on Facebook and the only person that likes it is probably your mom or your sister. Right? When you get no momentum whatsoever, and it's like, what is going on? Why I post something and nothing happened? Why these other people post something that is not even that valuable and they get momentum? What's happening? Right? So that's when you start to blame others and point fingers, because you can't stand the fact that you're not getting any momentum on your social media. It's quite scary and quite frustrating. So invisible is a place where a lot of people give up, and a lot of people start to also say, my audience is not in that platform. I need to go somewhere else. My audience is on LinkedIn, or my audience is on Instagram. And they keep searching for the audience rather than position themselves in you just choose any of this platform. They all work. But all you need to do is just pick one and stick with that one. That's the only thing you do. Instead, what people do is that they keep searching for a new platform to look for the clients, but guess what? The clients are not going to find you if you keep changing around, if you keep going from the next shiny object. So it's super important that you choose and pick your platform and stick to it. Now, if you do that enough, then you're going to go to active. And active is fascinating place to be, because when you're active, you're thinking you're active, but then when you go and look into your profile, you realize that you were active about 3 months ago. And then for some reason, 3 months went by and you didn't post anything. And you go, oh, wait, I'm not that active. Or you're active for like a week and then you disappear for 2 weeks. And then you're active for another couple of days and then you disappear again. When you have no consistency, we cannot get a following. We cannot get momentum. People are looking for certainty. People are looking for someone that they can lean on. People are looking for a leader and a rock, someone that can be like, oh, every time I check on Francesca's post, she's there, she's giving me good advice today, I can move on, right? This is where you need to build for your client, is that knowing that every time they need a suggestion or an advice, you will be there, you will give it to them for free, and that's where they're going to start to follow you. Now, the other thing that people do at Active, they are active in their business page rather than on their personal profile. And this is a tip that some people are not ready to hear. So if that's you, one of those people, just bear with me. I'm going to go through it. But using your personal profile on Facebook rather than your business page, I shouldn't say rather than, because I want you to also use the business page, but the business page you will post and you will probably get not very far for quite a while until you start to get a couple of thousand people following that business page, or until you start to pay for advertising. You're not going to really get much momentum. But in the personal profile, you can get momentum right now. You can get following, you can get people watching you. And so Nick has embraced this strategy as well. And so our profile is pretty much a tool for business rather than personal profile for our families and stuff like that. So I tell my friends and family, if you want to hang out with me, you call me, you got my number, let's go, rather than messaging on Facebook, because on Facebook for me is a business tool, and that's what I use it for. The other thing that you can do, you can use little private groups if you really want to hang out with your family on Facebook, and you just put everything on your personal profile. But the thing is, the things that we usually are most afraid of posting on social media are the things that people want to see about us, right? So your vulnerability, your kids, your family, your dog, your weekend away, right? They want to see that because they want to resonate with you and go like, oh, you're a human. You're not just like a business person, right? You care, you've got a heart. And that's what people want to see. So if you're active and you've been active only in your business page, I would strongly recommend that you start to be active on your personal profile and on your Facebook groups. Facebook groups are priceless to get your business out there. Now, if you follow these two strategies, then you're going to be able to start to get established, which means on social media, you start to gain momentum. You start to get people to follow you. You get lots of likes, lots of comments, and it feels good for like about a month. And then you start to go, what is going on? Why am I not getting paid? Why these leads are not becoming clients? What is wrong with me? They're all freeloaders, you guys call them. And so when you have the freeloaders, it's quite daunting and scary, and you're thinking, oh, these people are taking all this stuff for free. So you run for your life and you go back to invisible. I've seen many people do that. Instead of saying, no, don't ruin it now. You work so hard to get yourself to here. You need to just keep going. And if you keep going, you're going to get to empowered. And empowered is when you start to gain so much momentum that people start to message you going, you're everywhere. Your business is exploding. Can we have a chat? And you're like, ding, winning. This is when clients are going to come to you. They're going to get curious about you. They're going to be interested about you. So we had today someone messaging me and said, can you find me a virtual assistant, right? So they have seen me talking about finding and training virtual assistant for my clients. And then now the word is going out on my clients. And now people on the outside of my academy, they want me to provide that. I have never advertised it, and I will never advertise it because I'm not going to focus my energy in other things. But if it comes to me, then it's this is proving that my strategy works. Now, if you push through from empowered, this is where one of the mistakes of people empowered is that as they start to get clients and they start to get fully booked, they look after the clients and then they forget about the followers. And so 3 months, 4 months, 2 months later, they go, oh no, I haven't been posting. And so they've gone back to active because they completely forgot to keep posting while they're delivering to the clients. So empowered level is when you start to get a virtual assistant to help you maintain the momentum while you are delivering your clients, while you're selling, and so that you can go back and always maintain that momentum for you. If you do that, that's when you get to Invincible. Invincible, it's a fantastic place to be, because Invincible is where everything and anything that you do on social media will get you results, will get you clients. Like the other day, we launched my new ebook, Invisible to Invincible, and we went in literally 6 hours. We went first on Amazon. It's like you just be able to do all the things that you want. You're able to sell products and do everything you want. You're able to have a business throughout COVID without having to panic, because you have the followers that want to buy from you. Now, I've got a question for all of you guys. It's where are you at right now? Where do you recognize yourself? And it's okay to be all of them, like, invisible, or to have been throughout all of them. And how does it feel to be at that level? And where would you like to be and why? I would love you guys to share with me. So where are you at? How does it feel? Where you want to be and why? I'm going to pop it in here in the message in here. So where are you at? And how does it feel? And where you want to be and why? Go ahead and let me know. And if anybody wants to actually even chat with me about it, I would love that. Scanning and entering different niches with membership sites. Okay, Mark, so where are you from invisible to invincible? How does that look like for you? So on social media, do you have a strong following? Do you have people watching you? Are you consistent? You're posting every day? Let's have a quick conversation about it. If anybody wants to chat with me, or if you guys want to type, it's up to you. Let's have a look. Paul, do you want to chat with me? Yes.
Me, Paul?
Yes, you, Paul. Is there more Pauls? Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you want me to chat?
Yeah, so which one are you, from invisible to invincible?
I'm probably maybe in the active stage.
Yeah, so you're active for a bit and then you disappear for a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where would you like to be?
Probably, I don't really want to be, I don't know, like I was thinking that today. I was thinking like, do I want to be famous online? And I'm just thinking like, well, you know, with all this data that's been coming out from all the countries and stuff, I'm like, I don't really want to be fully out there. So I probably want to just, I don't know, just not be incredibly invincible. I'd probably want to be a step down from that. Just being honest.
Yeah, that's good. But knowing where you want to be, it's important, right? Because if you don't know where you want to be, then you're always going to be unfulfilled because you're thinking like, I should be somewhere else. But if that's where you want to be, then it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you probably get to that point and then you'd be like, oh, what's another step up, right? I mean,
yeah.
it's yeah. So
totally, because sometimes when you get there, once you've done that part of the journey, you will see that what's holding you back is most likely some sort of fear about something. So when you get there, then you'll be like, oh, let's just work out this fear and let's go, right?
100%, yeah.
Love it. All right, thank you so much for sharing, Paul. Anybody else wants to share? I just called on Paul, but let's see if anybody else wants to share out loud. If not, I'm going to read a couple.
I'm happy to have a share.
Yeah, Nick, let's go.
And look, just from my experience, I don't mind being out in the limelight. I'm quite happy to be out there and famous. Although, you know, sometimes you know, you just want to sort of not do it, and you just want to sort of not actually run the event, or you just don't want to do that Facebook Live. I mean, I'm really fortunate because I've got two of my team members who are on here today, and you know, when I'm just not feeling like I want to be there, they push me and they say, no, you need to do a Facebook Live today. We need you to do it. So they make me do it. So it's good to have VAs to be accountable to, as well as them actually sort of picking up some of the work, you know, as well. But really, one of the things I was thinking is that one of the real challenges going through that transition is that there's a real tendency to want to hang on to and do a lot of stuff yourself, and you know, like and there's some things that you know, when you start, it's like, oh, this is my little baby. I like doing this and I want to hang on to it. No one else can do it better than me. But I found that as I've moved through, it's like, well, actually there are some things that I enjoy, but it's unproductive for me to keep on doing that. I need to be doing sort of you know, some other things. So each of those columns comes along with bigger responsibilities and different tasks. And I think you know, that's the biggest challenge sort of online, so that you're just not doing everything and being sort of stressed and overwhelmed, that you know, you're able to be the front, but all the back end stuff gets done by someone else.
100%. And that's where sometimes when we look at it, when we are invisible and we look at this, you go, oh my gosh, there's going to be so much work. But then you have to start to delegate it and delegate some of the stuff, so then you can just be the face of the business. And being invincible doesn't necessarily mean that you are famous and everybody will know you. In your niche, people will know who you are. But then, you know, we're not Kardashian, are we, Nick?
Not yet.
Right, thank you, Nick. So Linda is saying she's invisible and it feels frustrating and want to be invincible. Fantastic. Well, once you know that you want to get there, it's so much easier, right? You make up your mind and let's go. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Kathy said, yet to launch my wedding event website business, but I would like to promote. So where are you at, Kathy, from invisible to invincible? Corina says, active stage. I wanted to really move to the invincible. Let's do it. Mark, let's chat. You're already famous, Nick.
I muted myself. Can you hear me okay there?
Yes.
All right, I haven't done a lot on social media. However, there are some groups that I post in on a daily basis, sometimes twice a day. And it's usually videos. I do a lot of work in videos. Sometimes we get some really good content I posted there as well. So I have a good following in other people's groups. And I have one specific group of my own that works pretty well too.
Cool. So from invisible to invincible, where do you think you'll be at?
Probably very close to the top on those groups. But on my personal ones, definitely not. Once a day, just something casual, things like that. Not much business stuff in there.
Yeah. And what's holding you back?
I've never really thought about it, to be honest. It's not something I saw as a priority. I've always been a paid ad kind of guy, so I'll find a way to pay for something and just get it fast. And this is something I've just started looking at a little bit recently, which is why I'm here tonight. First time to see this side of thing. So just sort of looking at it, seeing where we can take it.
Fantastic. I love it. Thank you for sharing. I love that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take you there. So I'm going to show you how to go from invisible to invincible, but I need a deal. I need everybody to write deal if you agree with this. So I will show you how to do it. And then your brain is going to tell you that the part in invisible and active, they're boring. So you're going to be like, I am like, well, you're going to do it empowered. So I'm going to do that first. And guess what? If you do that, if you change the order, it's not going to work. So then you're going to go out there and say, I've seen Francesca Moi speaking and I followed the strategy, didn't work. And I'll be like, no, you didn't follow it, you cheated. So I would love you guys to go, deal. I will follow the strategy even if the first few bits are a little bit boring, because what you do today, even if it's boring, it will have a compound effect forever into your business. It will create so much momentum. So let's go. Tell me deal in the chat if you are agreeing to go through the boring bits before you get to the fun stuff. All right, let's go. I love it. Thank you guys. Your interaction is amazing. Okay, so from invisible to active. Look at you guys. I love it. Thank you. So from invisible to active, what we need to do here, it's something that might seem some obvious to a lot of you guys, is start building trust online. It's so important. Like I was saying before about this lady that I really would have not just do one session. I would have done I'm always all in, right? So I would have spent a lot of money with her, and because I couldn't find any evidence of her being the expert or her being the best person to choose, I couldn't find anything. For the life of me, I'm very good at social media, right? So I'm like, if I can find anything, imagine people that are not good at social media. So you really need to make it easy for people to stalk you, right? It's gonna be super easy. As you go on Nick personal profile, all you see is Nick and Nick brand, and you can see that he is a website web developer. You can see all of that. It's clear as light. You don't doubt it. You just go, I don't know what Nick does. Does he have a business? I didn't even know. It's not gonna happen, right? You stalk him and you'll see testimonials, you'll see videos, you'll see his expertise everywhere. I love it. Thank you, guys. So the thing is, starting building trust online, it seems quite what? Of course, but it's not easy to do, because you have to go through moments that you're going to put yourself out there on social media and they're going to be crickets. Nobody's going to read it, nobody's going to comment, and you're going to feel like this is a waste of time. Like when I launched my podcast. I started my podcast in January this year. There was 0 people listening to my podcast because I didn't have one, right? And so the first month, 2 months, it was quite wait, I'm doing all this work and only 5 people are listening to it. I mean, oh my God, is this worth it? And I had to keep bringing myself back and remind of what's going to happen in the future. My future self is going to be very grateful that I did podcasts for nobody for about 2 months. And then we started to take momentum, and now we have about 100 people per episode that listen to it, right? So I'm pretty happy with it. We have, about 2,000 people that listen in on my podcast in total. That's, I think, is a really good result in about 5 months, right? So it's like, what else are you wishing right now that you start doing 6 months ago that you didn't do because you couldn't be bothered, because it was hard, because it was no results? And you got to always think it that way. So start and build trust online. How do we do it? By giving tips, adding value, doing post, live, anything that you can do to really put yourself out there on other people's Facebook group. And then from there, you can bring people into your personal profile. So you friend them from groups, you add trust, add value, add value, add value, and then you friend them and you become friends on social media. So your goal is to really have and reach 5,000 friends eventually on your social media. Obviously, if you have 20 friends, your goal is not 5,000. Your goal will be, let's get to 1,000 in the next 6 months. And then you'll be like, well, let's get to another 2,000 in the next 6 months. And so slowly, you're going to get to 5,000. Reaching 5,000 friends on social media is not just like an ego thing. It's like the algorithm will go for you. They will show you to more people. They will gain momentum, because Facebook wants the top of the funnel to be as active as possible so that they get more people to pay for advertising. That is their goal. So once you've done that, you're going to be able to get to active. So to get from active to established, we need to start to do Facebook Lives. And this is where really you need to have a conversation with your future self, because your current self will tell you, no way, not doing that. Facebook Lives, oh my gosh, if I do Facebook Lives, it's going to be horrible. Nobody's going to watch them. What do I do this for? It's a waste of time. And like Nick said, my brain still says that. And my team has to force me now to do Facebook Live, because, when you're working, you're like, no Facebook Live. I don't have time for that, right? Your brain tells you that, but your future self will be so grateful for you to really have put the time aside to educate your audience. They need to know that you are an expert. And a lot of time, our brain will tell us that, but am I really an expert? These are the people out there that are better than me. Do I really am going to look like an idiot by doing these Facebook Lives? I get it. Your brain will do a lot of that, but we need to shut the brain and really go again and do it, because that's the only way for you to really educate your audience properly, right? Properly, so they can actually have a bit of an understanding of your vibe, of the type of person that you are, and how much you're truly going to help them when they start to work with you. If you don't know what to talk about, it's easy. All we do, if I may respectfully ask, of course, what is the benefit of Facebook Live compared to uploading a video? Mark, that is such a good question. Okay, so this is usually what happens, and don't mind me, I'm gonna make a joke and I hope that nobody gets offended, but this is what I believe it happens. When you do a recorded video, usually you will have like your setup, you will have your beautiful lighting, and you will look perfect, and then you record it, and then you watch it back and you'll be like, no, it's not perfect enough. And so you're gonna delete it, and you do another take, and then another take, and then another take, until it's perfect, until it's super fake. And it's not really like you. You're talking all weird and like professional. And then it's like, is that what you really want to be out there on social media? I mean, you could do a video. I'm just making a bit of an exaggeration, right? You could make a video and be natural, absolutely. I never go perfect, exactly. So you could do that anyway. But what I'm saying is that when it's live, people love that interaction. They love that they get access to you. They get to ask your question live. They love that, it's like you guys, why didn't you watch this as a recording, right? You could just not come along live and then watch it later. Why are you live? Because you just want to be part of it. You want to be part of something. You want to be, you never know what happens. We could have some hackers coming in and sharing some crazy photos. Right? There could be so much happening live, and people love that, right? So you could have your kid walking in on the live, you could have your dog barking, you could have things that people will see the real you instead of seeing the what you want to show about you. And that's where the live works. Also for algorithm lives, the longer they are, the better it is, because Facebook wants you to have momentum on the lives. In the videos, if the first 3 seconds are not like really engaging, people will go next, and they're not going to watch it. So there's also that patience about it. When it's live, people are like hanging on for every word, because they don't know what's going to happen. Instead of on a video that is recorded, people know that is like created, and they don't know if it's genuine. Donut, the longer they are, the better. So you can start definitely on at least minimum of 3 minutes, but eventually, like I do a live every single Monday morning for half an hour at the same time, at the same day. And people love it, Donna. It's just been, I've been doing that for the last 4 years, and people don't just love it. People from there then go into my workshop, from there they become clients because they see every single week I give so much value, and they're like, imagine when I pay her, what's going to happen? Right? So it's really, but obviously, I do it now because obviously I've had a lot of content, and I'm very quickly, I can create a PowerPoint in like 5 minutes now, right? So by the beginning, if you're not as fast at creating content and that overwhelms you, yeah, for sure, start from 3 minutes minimum to be able to start. And then you'll get good at it and you go, oh, that's easy. 10 minutes is good. Especially if you get engagement, do not leave. If you're having people talking to you, stay and chat with them. That's powerful. Now, if you don't know what to talk about, ask questions. Do some research and ask questions to people and say, hey, I've got, I wanted to jump on a live in a couple of days, and I was thinking to talk about this topic, which usually is like a pain that your clients will have, right? I was thinking about talking about this pain. What do you guys think? What's your question around that, or what's your biggest obstacle in this thing? So you ask them, and then you get your actual audience to tell you what they want to hear. If you haven't done the first bit, which is building trust and give value, they're not going to reply to you on these questions, right? So it all goes in order for a reason. And that's when here you need now to be committed about consistency. You have to be consistent, because if not, you're not going to get momentum, you're not going to get results. People are going to see you for a bit, and then you disappear, and they're going to forget about you, and then you go, oh yeah, I was that person, I did watch a video about them ages ago, right? So you want them to pretty much get addicted to watching you, and to really, what I do is every day, if I don't get at least one message from people saying, OMG, thank you so much for posting this, you made my day, that means I'm not posting enough. This is how I know, right? If I go, oh, I haven't got any message today from anybody, or message or comment saying, oh wow, thank you, I needed to hear that, I'm like, oh, I'm backing up, I'm not posting enough. So then I know that's my thermometer. I know that I'm doing good if that happens, right? So when you do this enough, that's when you get to establish, right? By establish, you're still not getting clients, and not from Facebook, at least, right? So you go, what do I need to do now? This is time for you to create your own Facebook group and your own meetup group. This is time for you to become a leader, so that people see you as a leader, and then you're going to start to run webinars, where in your webinars, obviously you will have an offer, you'll have a call to action. That's how you're going to get clients. You're going to be able to run events, or be a speaker in other people's events, and that's again how you're going to get clients. And so you cannot miss this step, because when you have your own community, now you're in charge of these people. You have access to them. You can ask them for email addresses. You can grow your database. This is where you are going to leverage yourself. And this is the step that I'll say that a lot of you are going to go, oh, let me start a group. Wait. You need to start a group once you've done all the things that I told you, right? Because if you start a group that you're completely invisible, guess who is going to join it? Your mother. And that's it. So we need you to get more momentum, so that you can get people to go, oh, you've got a free Facebook group? Oh, I am in. For sure. Right? That's how my Facebook group is called Entrepreneurs Abundance Mindset. And we've got now 9,018 people as of yesterday. So we've reached 9,000 people, because there is an immense amount of value in there, and people love to be part of the community. But it started from zero. People see my group and they go, I wish I had a group of 9,000 people. I'm like, well, you got to start from zero. That's how I started. Didn't start at 9,000. I didn't buy it. Right? I start from zero, and I'll grow it organically with a lot of patience and a lot of momentum. So anything that you do, if you want to get momentum, you got to start to do a little bit every day. So you're going to get better and better and better. The group is called Entrepreneurs Abundance Mindset. Entrepreneurs Abundance Mindset. Thank you. Right. So now if you want to go to Invincible, we need to show people that you have an audience. You got to show people that you have a voice, that people love what you do. So you got to consistently prove to people that you are an expert in your niche. And this is where a lot of people, I made this mistake. As I got to Invincible, I thought, tick, I'm done. I don't have to do anything on social media anymore. Stop it. And then all of a sudden I became invisible again. And I was devastated. Now it took me no time to go back to Invincible, right? It was way faster the second time around, but I did hide. My beautiful virtual assistant, Tina, put the group in there for you guys so that you can join it. So I forgot about that. I completely forgot about my followers. When I got to Invincible, I felt like I just can't pay for ads now. I'm done. And I was paying for advertising, but guess what? It wasn't working as well, because when I was paying for advertising and I was active on Facebook, people would check out the advertising, then they will stalk me, they will see the results, and they'll be like, oh, yeah. When I stopped being active, people will see the advertising, they will stalk me, they won't see anything, they will think, she used to be successful, she must not be successful anymore because there's nothing out there. Right? So that's really important lesson that I learned, and I lost about $40,000 for that mistake. But that's okay. Learn it, grow from it, and let's move on. What is the best place for lives, business page, or groups? Donna, personal profile. No, I know you didn't want to hear that one. But personal profile is the best place because you are going to get the most views, at least until you get to Invincible. Once you got to Invincible, you can shift to your groups and to your business pages, and it's totally fine. But when you first start to gain that momentum, to get to your 5,000 friends, your personal profile will be the place to be. Absolutely. So here's where in Invincible, I did this mistake. My brain grew like, oh, now you're famous. And so I got it to be in my head and I forgot to be me. I was like, now, people can't talk to me anymore. I'm too famous. And I think that is, I don't have any problem sharing that, because I see a lot of my clients that sometimes go through that and then they realize and they go, what was I doing? That's silly. And so then you go back to be you. And that's the only way people will follow you and want to be around you, if you are genuinely you, if they see you as a leader. And if you're vulnerable, the thing that people love most about me when they follow me, and that's what they tell me, is that my vulnerability. I don't pretend to be arrived. I don't pretend to be there. I just know that the journey is the same when you are at $0, 100K, 200K, or $1 million, or 5 million. You're still a person, and you're still, the same as everybody else. We just got a little bit more strategies that we followed, and a little bit more resilience. Probably that's what it is. This is the level that you definitely need to invest into a virtual assistant, someone that can truly help you in your business and make this business the best thing you have ever done. But without them, I wouldn't be here. But now we've got 5 virtual assistants, actually 6 virtual assistants now, plus we've got 5 team members here in Brisbane. All of those people are full-time. And we have 350 clients, and it's just like really the business is growing a lot, but I wouldn't be able to do it without investing in virtual assistant before I got here. So what I wanted to bring to you guys today is that this strategy is literally that simple. The business will explode and your business will take to the next level when you are starting to grow that following organically. So I didn't pay for Facebook advertising for the first probably year and a half. Then I started to invest in Facebook advertising, and I got results fast because I had a very strong following. And so it's really important for you that if you want thinking of starting to do Facebook advertising, literally do yourself a favor or do a little bit of organic followers so that you can have the best success from those. Now, I would like to open the floor to any questions, and then I think Nick is disappeared. I think we lost Nick. Something happened, but as the power went out, okay, no worries. And then Nick was gonna interview me a little bit, but let's open the floor. So anybody wants to share something, ask any questions, let's go. And then Tina, we are gonna we're gonna do the Lucky Door prize later on, so I will need that link later on. He's getting back on his laptop. That's fine. Thank you. Okay. Yes.
Quick question. So I'd have to change my Facebook page, obviously, to make it public.
Yes.
Yep. And take all of my personal photos and albums out.
Why?
Okay. I don't know. I guess, you know, like family and friends and stuff you do, you leave it all in there and expose yourself to that extent.
You don't have to. You can definitely delete everything if you want to. Since 5 years, I have seen probably about 2 stalkers that went through photos of me of 10 years ago. Everybody else don't have time to do that, right? So I would like you to really think about the reality of how many people will go through and check out all these photos, and why will people do that. So if you're not comfortable with it, absolutely do it. There's no problem. And for anybody right here, and it's a really good point, Kathy, because a lot of people say that to me, like, so now what, do I need to delete everything? I'm like, you can if you want to. It's a long time. So I didn't bother to cancel anything, and you can see a lot of those things. So you can add your friend. You can also have friends in different restricted lists, but I never suggest to do that. Like, why not just open up to people, and you will get a lot of people that might be weird and might be like not real accounts. So then I'll just block them, and then I'll just stick to the people that I genuinely want to have a conversation with, and it will explode. You will see everything will explode.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome. What do you do?
Well, I live in the mountains an hour south of Brisbane, so I'm living in the base of the Great Divide. I have a property very high in the hills, so that is going to become a ceremony and a wedding venue.
Wow.
Yeah, but I've also got a few bed and breakfast in a little village, a beautiful village 15 minutes away. And in the village, I've been restoring properties and in particular dance halls. So
amazing.
Yeah, and I physically do the building because my father taught me to build. And so, So, oh, I've lost you.
No, we're here.
Okay. So then I've done one dance hall. It's an Airbnb.
Well done.
Blah, blah. I'm going to do another dance hall, and it's really big. And so the brides will get married very up high in the mountains, have a helipad.
So you could definitely start like a Facebook group, a Facebook community for brides.
Yes, I could. And I'm actually thinking with the lives, you know, I'm umming and ahhing with the physical building of the dance hall, which is going to be converted into an amazing barn.
Yeah.
A really nice barn. But I'm wondering if there's any advantage in going live while the progress is happening.
Oh, yeah.
Because normally the brides book 1 to 2 years out, spend on an average.
1,000,000%, Kathy. Go for it.
Yeah, because, you know, I'm going to be in my building clothes when I'm physically building it. Okay. Okay. All right.
Absolutely. Well done. Go ahead and do it. The more you build, and especially for brides, right? They need to see that they can trust you, that they like, you know, that you're going to not cancel on them. So building a trust with you will be priceless.
Yeah. Okay. And I thought,
I love it.
I thought I didn't know if there'd be any advantage in it, but in the bridal industry, everyone jumps on board. Everyone, you know, florists, planners, they all jump on board. Videography people, photographers, they all follow these wedding venue sites because they obviously want the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I even thought I'd cast out to that community, you know, as they are the professional vendors, you know, their input into the actual constructions, maybe.
There is lots of opportunity in there, absolutely. So starting using your personal profile as public, and then eventually once you get to empowered, starting your own Facebook group, it will be priceless.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Karina's got a question. Hi.
Hi, yeah. Is there a better time of the day for Facebook Lives?
So it depends on your audience, right? So let me ask a question to everybody to see if we can have a little game. So if someone's target market are moms, right? They've got moms, they've got young kids. Do you think it is a good time to post at 2:55 p.m.? Everybody say yes or no. Do like this, yes or no. What do you think? No. I would love to see. No. A lot of people say no. Well, think about their lives, right? So at 2:55, they're most likely waiting in the car for the kids to come out. So they are actually online. They are going to be active. So you need to really get to know your target audience and think about what are they doing at that time? What is their routine? Probably in the morning will be the worst time because they're getting the kids ready for school. But as soon as they are at school, right? So they're in, the moms are got, give time to just sneak in on Facebook for a little bit while the house is quiet, right? Before they start to do chores or whatever they do, right? So you got to really get to know your audience. So there is no an answer to that question. It depends on your audience. So when is your audience on social media? And if you don't know, ask them, hey, what do you do? When do you go and scroll on Facebook? You ask the question to the actual target market, to one of your clients, for a few to your clients, so that I would have never thought Sunday morning is 5 a.m. What do you do awake at that time? And if you ask a few people, you're like, oh, okay. So my newsletter, best time to send it out is the 6 a.m. on a Saturday. Don't ask me why, but people at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, they're opening their newsletter and read my newsletter. Interesting. So then I'll go with that, right? So really get to know your audience is super important for mastering. Test and measure. Yes, absolutely. Did I answer your question, Corinne?
Yeah, I'm just struggling with
what are you struggling with?
Audience wise is because mine's very much B2B, and what to talk to them about. Online training.
Run training for businesses?
Online training. No, like businesses, health and safety, workplace health and safety, HR, business development. I've got about 27 specialists that work on my team.
Yeah, so those people work 9 to 5 most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then they might go to the gym, so they might have dinner, so they'll probably be active about 8 p.m. at night. So you just need to think about the person that's been to your course, what is their daily routine?
But why would they want to look at business stuff at 8 o'clock at night?
But they're not. They're going to be on Facebook, and they're going to look at things, and they probably are obsessed with business. They're obsessed with growth, and they're obsessed with learning new stuff, and they're going to come across you, and they're going to go, oh, interesting, I'll check it out later, right? So you guys need to think about the fact, like I teach business, and you guys are here tonight, right? Why would you want to be live at 6 p.m.? You are. So think about, like, there will be people out there that are managers, and they have to find a solution for health and safety. So they're looking for it, and you pop up on the Facebook and go, oh, thank goodness I found someone, right? So we are thinking sometimes in business, and you guys tell me if that you resonate. We're thinking that, why would people want to do that? But when people have a pain, they want a solution. So they will look after hours. They will look for a solution anytime that they have a chance to. So don't assume that they're not, because they will. Yeah?
Okay.
Put yourself out there, you'll see, they will find you.
There's nothing personal on my Facebook at all.
Nothing business, what you're saying?
All business, nothing personal.
Perfect.
I've just never put anything personal up.
Also, you guys will remember that on your personal profile, you're not allowed to do business. You're allowed to talk about your passion. You shouldn't have any links. You shouldn't be selling anything. It's more about
I put them
educating.
on the business page.
Perfect. Yeah. Amazing. You got it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Mark, how can I help?
I was just wondering, you've obviously been doing this for a little while. What do you see as maybe the 1 or 2 core problems that tend to pop up a lot with businesses that you work with?
That I work with?
Yeah, so you're working with people. What are the 1 or 2 core problems that seem to come up more often than anything else?
The mindset.
Challenges that people like us might have that you fix.
The mindset, the fear of standing out, fear of putting themselves out there, fear of judgment, fear of what people are going to think, fear of what if I am successful and then I fail.
Wow.
Mindset is the biggest one. And if I had to do another one, would be investing. They are afraid, again, it's always fear, but they're afraid of investing to learn. So they're expecting to make way too much money the first year of the business, and they don't consider what they can make in 10 years. So they want results yesterday, and they're impatient, they get frustrated. So when I say the mindset is the biggest thing for business owners, it's quite spot on.
I think the first part of your answer there too might be really good, especially what was asked earlier. I'd like to ask, I mean, how do you handle criticism yourself? Because I do a lot of videos. I get picked on for the way I sound, the way I look, the way that my hair's done. And like these days, I kind of laugh it off. It doesn't bother me anymore. Yeah. But someone starting out, I think they could really struggle with that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I first started, I wrote my first book in the first year of my business, and I posted 500 copy, all the people that bought it, and I was like, I was stoked that I was an author. I was so happy. And then I got this email from someone saying, I think you should be embarrassed for yourself. There's 76 errors in your book. You need to get all your books back. This is it's really gonna ruin your reputation. It's gonna ruin your business forever. They were doing it from a place of like helping me. Go like, legit, this book is bad. Like, take it back. And so I cried for days. And then I was like, what am I gonna do? It's gonna cost me so much to pay everybody to get it back and reprint it and all of that. And then I thought, it's my second language. If my book was perfect, it wouldn't be me. So stuff it. So I went on Facebook and I said, hey, everybody, someone sent me an email that there is an X amount of errors in my book. If you find the right number of errors, you're going to win my whole membership.
Very nice.
People were like posting, they were like, oh my God, there's 52, I found 60. So they're now all of them reading my book, not just having my book in the shelf, they're actually reading it. And as you know, when people consume your content, they're most likely to become clients. So it's about how you frame it, right? Our brain will always try to make a tragedy around that and go like, it's the end of the world. And then you're going to go, I'll be fine. It'll be fine. So you just have to deal with mindset, because business is a spiritual journey. You're going to have ups and downs, and it's going to be tough at times, right? One of the things that I've noticed that we expect business to be smooth, and all the clients that we talk to say yes, and to make it every month enough money to be super profit for the moment that you start, like all of those things, right? But it's not reality. This business is going to be 50-50. You're going to have days that you want to shut it down and go like, this is stupid. Why am I working so hard to make no money? And it's going to happen. It's going to have months like that. It took me years for me to start to feel like safe again, and feel like I've had, some sort of backup and some sort of momentum and some sort of like, passive, if you can call it passive income, right? And the other day I was driving to the golf course, and I got a red traffic light. So I started crying. I'm like, I didn't expect to have a traffic light. And I go back home. No, I just sit there and I go, traffic light, it's possible. And then there was a detour, and I started to cry. I'm going to give up. It's too difficult to go to the golf course. I'm just going, all right, detour, fantastic. And then there was a 80 zone, and then there was a traffic. Then there was this and was that. But I put my favorite podcast on, and I was enjoying the journey. I was enjoying the journey so much that I didn't care anymore what time I was going to get there. I was like, at one point, I actually was like, I've got still 10 minutes of this podcast and I'm already here. So I just kept driving because I was having too much fun. So it's like, what if we do that in business? What if we bring that passion and that not rush to get there? Because you're never going to get there. Because now that I'm here at the, $1.7 million business, I'm rushing to go to 3 million. And it's like, just relax, it's fine. So I need to also remind myself that it's all about the journey. It's not about what time we get there, and it's not about not getting any obstacles, because there are going to be obstacles.
I think it's really good, because the part where you said you were crying, but you made a choice to do something different, and that challenge would never have come out for people to look at if you didn't have that one person call. So it's interesting how the negative turns into such a huge positive.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for sharing. Okay, we have a question from Paul. I have a distant social media following. Well done. I am thinking of setting up a discussion forum in my area. I would like an off Facebook forum. I can different topics and chats in different threads. Do you favor Facebook for this and why? Paul, hi. Yes, let's have a chat. So when you say a different forum, can you expand on that a little bit, please?
Yeah, I'm planning on having a discussion thread put into my website, so I can run different, different discussion groups for different part of our industry.
Right. And when you say you have a decent following on social media, on what platform?
I've got 70,000 on Twitter and 40,000 on Facebook.
Right. Yeah. So I would say that, if you choose to have like a forum, would that be like a Facebook group you were thinking about?
This is what my plan is to take it off Facebook, because inside Facebook I've got in one group I've got one topic generally, and it's quite hard. While you can run Facebook groups, I find them a bit clumsy, and also a lot of networking goes on. People join your Facebook group and then they attract other people and they try and sell their own stuff to them because they can direct contact them through Facebook. Whereas if I set up my own forum, I can stop them from having direct contact with each other. So they can come to the forum and discuss the topics, but someone can't turn up with and just try and sell my people all this crap they could sell them on Facebook.
True, Paul. In the same time, you have to have enough leverage for them to get out of their routine of going on Facebook and going to a new platform that they don't know, they're not used to. So there might be more roadblocks, and remember, the more roadblocks we put for people to engage with us, the less likely they will. So a Facebook group is guys pro and cons, absolutely. But the beauty part of Facebook group is that it's there and it's on everybody's nose. So as they are scrolling at night when they're relaxing, they're not be like, oh yeah, Paul forum is on tonight. Oh, let's do it, right? So that it's going to be in their faces rather than take them away to a different platform that we don't know they're going to be willing to go to. So it's a little bit of a, I would choose Facebook. I've got my 9,000 people Facebook group in there. You can put roles, you can put a community manager. So one of my virtual assistants is a community manager in there. So we have guidelines, we'll monitor it so that doesn't happen. But like you said, you can't control people from friending someone and contact them. But so what? I think at the end of the day, we can go in abundance and think about those people might be helping the people in your community and it might be a benefit to them. So I would do Facebook. For sure.
Okay, cheers, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, for sure. Okay, well, great market reverse, fantastic. Thank you, Neil. Nick.
All right, I am back. I was sitting in the corner crying because we've had a power outage here.
I know, you were gone. I was like, where's Nick?
All the lights have gone out, everything's out. I'm sitting here and the light is this torch here. So
wow.
So this is how we do it. So when things go wrong, so some things you can't control, aren't there?
Oh my goodness.
So what was it last week? We had trolls. This week the power goes out. I'm sort of thinking, well, what's it going to be next week? But anyway, that's the joys about being online and being live, and those are the things that sort of I suppose challenge us, doesn't it? So that's all good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, but it is. We've had a great discussion. It's 20 to 8, so it's been I've just been sitting here fascinated because all the stuff you're talking about is all the stuff I always hear you talking about, and I always get something new out of what you say. So I could be just a slow learner. I've just got to hear it a few times. But yeah, but
there's filters right in our brain that's happened to us.
Yeah, absolutely. And like just going through that path, I was thinking, am I sort of at the peak of it yet? No, I think I've sort of slipped back. So there's a bit of work to sort of. So you do sort of go between all of those pillars, isn't it?
But I think you are invincible, Nick, for sure.
I like to think so, but sometimes I'm not so sure. So.
Well, I think you should do the test. We got the test in the Mafia Academy. Do it.
Maybe I should. Is it on your website?
Yeah, the one that you created.
Yeah. Oh, I should know, shouldn't I? Excellent. Hey, well, look, thanks very much for spending your time with us tonight. I know you're online a heck of a lot, and a way lot more than I am as well. So I know that you're probably when you got home today, were sort of ready to put your feet up and relax, and hello, my VAs sort of spoke to you and said, hey, we're just about to start. So thanks very much for sharing your time, your energy, your knowledge, your wisdom. It's been an absolutely fabulous night.
Thank you for having me.
But wait, there's more. So we do have a, if you remember at the beginning there, we do have a door prize today to give away, and we've got a special way to draw it. So while I get the share screen up, why don't you tell us what your what the door prize is today?
Yes, so you guys can win my bundle, which is my Tina can tell me what we put in the bundle tonight, because they've changed, I think, since we've gone online. So we have two options for you guys. If you are in Brisbane, we are starting to do events again. So the first workshop is going to be in a couple of weeks in Brisbane for maximum 20 people. We're going to follow all the guidelines and all of that. But if you're not in Brisbane, we're still going to run them online as well. So you got the two options we're going to give away one online and one in Brisbane. If there's anybody here in Brisbane that want to win it. And then you get the workshop and you get the ebooks. Or you get the workshop and you get an actual copy of one of my books, and you can choose one of the three. So this is what we are going to give away tonight. The value of usually $150.
Fantastic, excellent. All right, so the way we draw this, we've got this app called the Wheel of Names. We've got everybody's name in the right-hand side who is here tonight. So what we'll do is we'll spin it. So away it goes. And drum roll, please. And the winner is Linda Smithers. So we just need to check. Is Linda still here? If you're here, Linda, just...
Yes.
You are. Fantastic. Excellent. Excellent. All right, well, that is...
Linda, are you from Brisbane? Are you able to come to the Brisbane workshop, or you want the online version?
Probably the online version.
Okay, well, there we go. So we've got another one, Nick, if you wanted to go ahead and they can choose online or offline again.
Draw another one? All right. Well,
yes, please.
Let's spin it again. And the lucky winner is Corinna. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Even though you know,
anybody,
No,
congratulations, Corinna. You want the online or the offline?
Online, I'm up in the Whitsundays.
Oh, beautiful up there, of course. So my beautiful virtual assistant will send you the details. I'm sure that we find a way to send it to you. And everybody else, if you guys want to get, there is a bundle link that Tina has just posted. You can get the same package for only $47. And we just do it because we love Nick. We want you guys to come along to my workshop. I'm pretty sure it's 47 for the offline, and I think it's something else for the online. I can't remember my own prices because everything's changed because of COVID, but don't worry. Just go into the francescamoi.com/bundle and you'll be able to get it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Francesca. And look, I'd highly recommend that if you can get to this workshop, absolutely fantastic. Well worth your time doing that. So thanks very much for that, Francesca.
Thank you.
Now, I would have my PowerPoint presentation up, but because my other computer stopped and I'm on my laptop, I don't. So I'm just going to remember what else we've got for tonight. The couple of things next week. We have the Business Owners Smashing Online again next week, next Tuesday. It's at 6 o'clock again. And next week, we have John Bellamy coming to speak. He's going to talk about LinkedIn and how to make the most out of your LinkedIn profiles. In fact, how to create a compelling LinkedIn profile. I've known John for some time now, and he's a master at this sort of stuff. So well worth coming along to that. So you can book now, and I'll just ask JM or Lorena to throw the link into chat here, so you can just go and click on that and book in now. The other thing that's happening too is tomorrow we have office hours. So office hours is on at 10 o'clock. It's on Zoom, and it's an open discussion. There is no agenda. I don't bring anything to the table apart from me, and you just bring yourself and your questions. If you want to know about an app, you want to have a discussion about something to do with your online presence or online marketing, maybe even continue this, so some of the things that have come out of tonight, whatever it happens to be. If you've got a website and you've got questions about that as well, whatever it is, it's an open discussion for an hour at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Now, we'll post that up in the Positive Business Online Facebook group. And the link has just been popped into chat right now as well too. So we do have some good discussions. It is a really interesting morning, and it's an opportunity for me to go out and feel like I'm having coffee with someone and having a general chat. So so well worth coming on to. So I think with that, that's probably a wrap tonight. We're still in the dark here, so I'm going to go and sort of stumble around the house and try and find some dinner or something like that. So once again, thanks, Francesca, for all of your wisdom and sharing with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
And
thank you, everybody.
And thanks, everybody, for coming along tonight. And look forward to seeing you tomorrow and next week. Have a good night.
Bye. Thank you, Nick.